E39 source, welcome to the introduction video of my best friend Alex Gardner's 1999 BMW E39 540 6-speed Sport. This car is a May of 1999 in jet black 668 with the black interior. It is indeed a sport package car as well, in quite excellent condition actually. Current mileage as of July of 2015 is 146,815, and we do see some pixelization issues in there. So he purchased this car probably about 2 months ago, and we've been working on it off and on. We had one video replacing the vapor barrier. Probably the biggest thing he's done so far is refinish the Style 32 wheels in Hyper Silver. The original paint was flaking and leaving behind a nasty looking yellow finish. So all 4 wheels have been refinished, and it has new Continental Extreme Contact DWS tires with the stock sizes 255 in the rear and 235 in the front. So we're going to walk around and point out some things that have already been done to the car. So when he got the car, it had some very poor condition post-facelift lights on it. We've taken those off and put back on the original Hella pre-facelifts, which are in okay condition. Not perfect, but we might take some time and refinish them. The car does have xenon lights, and everything on the car functions as far as lighting wise. The front grills are from ECS Tuning. They're black gloss kidney grills, and they are the M5 style with the larger lip around the outside. I already mentioned the wheels and tires. We've also put in the facelifted roundel caps, or roundels centers, as well as the valve stem caps. Moving on to the back, it's got the license plate frame with the black M logo. I think the rear badges are still original. We have not yet played with those. We've replaced some taillight bulbs yesterday though. Of course, the wheels on this side as well. And we have yet to do any major suspension or braking work. Most of the work we've done so far has been on the inside, starting with a full and very thorough cleanup, which really makes this car look fantastic. Really the only defect inside are a couple typical things, the pixelization on the OBC cluster as well as the cup holders. Here in the center console area, we have replaced the center console handle, as pretty much every E39 needs. Parking brake does work. 6-speed being the 540. I think all the pixels in the radio are fine. I think they've been tended to before. Since this is a 1999 model year, we're going to find the very modern and up-to-date tape player with your fader, balance, treble, and bass controls. The previous owner had installed the gauge rings, which I think really add a nice touch to the dashboard. A couple of weeks ago, we put in the BMW OEM anthracite floor mats. I don't actually think the car came with any, or were they just totally aftermarket and shot. So all 4 corners have nice clean OEM floor mats. We found the carpeting was wet in the back right corner, I want to say, so we did go ahead and replace the vapor barrier on the rear door. We didn't replace it, we actually resealed it, and that has fixed those issues. In the back, aside from that vapor barrier, really only replaced the rear cup holders. We just did the delete. The infamous 4.4 liter M62, it's a 1999. I think that is the TU with double Vanos. I could be incorrect there. It's a May 99. Somebody might want to comment on that. So under the hood, the previous owner, another friend of mine actually, and I replaced the radiator. Nice new radiator, nice new fan clutch, had a new coolant expansion tank, and I think some of the hoses were replaced as well. The car had a coolant leak for a while.
It's also gotten the stainless steel oil lines. Which,
yep, oil filter, feed and return lines.
Well, some work it needs though is these, I guess, housings.
The housing bolts,
yeah,
for the
oil filter housing. Oil filter
yeah,
are broken, so I need new ones.
Yep, those will be replaced. Just yesterday, got to do the hood sensor. You want to tell them what the hood sensor failure diagnosis is?
Your alarm will go off at approximately 3 in the morning.
And go off until you come down and shut it up. A temporary solution to that would simply be to unplug the wiring lead going into the hood sensor. It will disable your alarm, but the alarm will not randomly go off anymore, which is quite annoying. In Alex's ownership, K&N air filter, as well as an oil change with 5W30 synthetic, as well as the oil filter. So as we can see, physical condition is very good. It certainly does have its downfalls, as any car with 140,000 miles and 16 years of age would. We're going to walk around now and talk about some future plans. It'll have an OEM M5 bumper. I feel like a lot of owners do that because it certainly looks better than the general issue, as we'll call it, standard 5 Series bumper. As opposed to doing the plate delete, we'll just get that M5 bumper on there. Hawk HPS pads for sure. These wheels were just refinished. They are immaculate and they get covered with brake dust. Right now the car has a muffler delete that's cut simply at the axle. We're going to get a little jiggy with it and figure out a way to get some tips back here and run that pipe out, either keeping this bumper going with an M bumper sometime and get some Timmy tips or something to dress up the back a little bit.
Also going to do the M5 spoiler.
Yep, it'll have the trunk lid spoiler, being a 540 Sport. I think that's more than appropriate. And I think you have, correct me if I'm wrong, made the decision to keep the ambers around the car.
I did.
The pre-facelift amber tail lights, the fender lights, and the front headlights. Even if you do facelift, we'll just stick with US spec lighting.
Within a couple weeks, I actually will be doing the UUC short shift kit. I already have the UUC shifter ordered. I just need to get the DSSR and the corresponding hardware. Take
a seat in there, show them a little bit of the play. I'm assuming all the shifter linkage, all the shifter joints are original. So that is the play in gear, probably pretty standard. I've got the UUC in my M5, so that'll really tighten it up. And go from third to fourth. Pretty long throw.
Very long.
Yeah. With the stock shifter, so that'll be kind of a big undertaking. Also, future plans include replacing the door seals. This one up here is actually pretty good. I think it's the rear right that quite commonly just fall apart. I've opened doors on E39s and had them fall out before, but it has separated kind of into two pieces and is totally deteriorating. So that'll be a nice feature project that'll really dress up the back. Quick minute on body condition here. It's got its typical rust in a couple places, not bad at all though. A little bit of gas cap rust, no paint flaking, probably don't need to address that for a while. Really the 2 or 3 rust areas on this car are down in that corner. We see a little bit of paint bubbling right there. Along the back, the bottom of the trunk lid actually, and this is not the most common place. I don't know that I've seen a whole lot of E39s that have it just down here. I've seen it up here or around the license plate lights, but that whole bottom will need to be refinished probably from the body line down or from the spoiler line down when that's put on. The rear bumper also has some paint peeling, surprisingly underneath the rear bodywork. Not quite sure how that works, but it does. There's a little dent right there, pretty small. And then the only other rust area, I think, is right here. Same area as the other side.
There's also those 2 small.
A couple stone chips have turned orange up here on the hood or on the roof.
Right there and then right there.
Yeah, but considering the car's age, body's in damn good shape. Why don't we close the doors? We'll get a shot down the side of the car, and really there are not many dings on this car at all. There might be one underneath the driver's door handle. But really the body on this car is like a 8.5 or 9 out of 10. It's very good. All 4 rocker panels are jack points anyhow. They're in great shape. Underneath the car subframe, bottom of the motor, all of that looks really good. Under the hood, this certainly needs a detail. We have not yet gotten to that. Probably going to end up painting valve covers. That's pretty common for that paint to bubble and flake. Needs a good detail on the strut towers, on the airboxes. This car has no accident history whatsoever. Has all the stickers here. It's got the stickers here and the VIN sticker under the rear license plate as well.
As you were saying about the body, it does have quite a bit of stone chips in the front.
Stone chips, and that is really one of the only dents on the car. It's a shame really, but hopefully that can be pulled out, or we'll find another jet black hood. And it does have, I think there were 1 or 2 in the hood. There's a little ding there, and right now we're nitpicking, but I feel like there was another one somewhere else. Down this side of the car, really, only imperfections I'm seeing are right below the front passenger door handle. Looks like some careless moron threw their door into there, and it did do a little bit of paint damage. I have not yet tried Zano's ZPC on that to see if any of that's in clear, but we can see some white paint residue left on this car. The next big project for this car involves some suspension work. Alex, if you want to come over to this side, open the door and give a little bit of a push, maybe you guys can help better diagnose, but we're hearing some squeaking from this corner. Don't know if it's ball joint, struts, spring, top mounts, something of that sort needs to be dealt with. So probably the first step will be an alignment to see what specs are out, and we'll go from there. As far as looking at the rear sway bar, those links look good, the front links look good as well, but you know, that's just a visual. So suspension work will probably include all 4 links, just seeing that they could possibly be original. There were a couple control arms that had some cracked open boots that we'll probably address and replace, but otherwise this is one very nice car. So why not go for a little ride? I'll stand out back while he starts it up. Hear the muffler delete. This car has very little Vanos rattle, next to no timing chain noise. Oh, a little bit of ticking up here, but likely not indicative of any issues, just a higher mileage BMW V8.
A couple other things in the interior that it needs is a air conditioning charge.
Does need an air conditioning charge.
Which I have all the parts for, so.
And I'm going to make a comment on the wood trim in here. It's in incredibly good shape. Any E39 I'm in with wood trim, there's always cracks in the veneer, usually from here and here, and this is just really clean. I have not been able to find any cracks in the interior wood trim. It does, however, have the typically cracked center vents. So is it fun to drive, Alex?
It is.
Do you recommend the E39 540?
Yes.
Yeah, especially when it's $3,000. Since this is a 1999 car, we're going to see it does have the old style key. With the windows down, it's really not loud, unless you want it to be. It'll certainly wake up and go. All the windows work. There are no problems with window regulators. There's very few things that don't function on this car. Literally, we're talking about cup holders. That's something that doesn't work. The air conditioning simply needs its recharge. Everything else really, truly functions. There's
Actually some pixelation in the radio.
You might find some minor pixelization in the radio, but the majority of it is up there. I don't know if we're going to try to DIY that or not. I've actually noticed that the mileage seems to be much dimmer than the rest of it. The check control, because I know you're going to comment, is on because it says tire control inactive. Well, how can that be? The 540 didn't get TPMS sensors. Well, we had to restore the LCM file from my M5, and we forgot to code out the tire control, so we'll get on that today, and that's the only thing stored in the OBC air memory. Previous owner replaced one of the wheel speed sensors. Prior to that, the brake DSC and ABS lights were on. If we were to turn that back on, there are no lights on the dash.
So we got a little frisky driving clip.
If you want. Who the hell's that?
I have no idea. Ready?
Yep. A Valentine 1 will probably be a very well put to use improvement that will be hardwiring into the home link. Now, it doesn't actually have home link, but it's pre-wired for it, so we'll just fish that wire out. Maybe install the home link. I don't know if he wants to do that or not. What do you say? He wants a home link? Possibly. Perhaps later. We'll consider that at a later date. Nice downshift there. Another downshift to second at 40. And DSC steps in doing its job. Also, seeing that this is a 99 car, we're going to see the tricolor stitching in the sport steering wheel. No, that's not an M5 wheel. That's the steering wheel that came in this car. But since it's that pre-facelift build, it actually has the tricolor stitching, which later became an M5 only option. Windows and sunroof closed. This car goes right back into a luxury car. It's quiet. It's comfortable. It's easy to drive. It's got a good stereo. DSP, obviously, being a 540. Couple rattles. Otherwise, not bad. Back seats in this car is second to none. Since it does not have the split fold rear seat or the ski bag option, the center bolstering is actually pretty aggressive, and they are so comfortable to sit in. I think we kind of filmed the seats before, but they are really in great shape. Coming along on the right side, we'll see the 2002 330xi. Update video is pending. Glove box is even complete with all of the original owner's manual, as well as the very tightly installed functioning original BMW flashlight. One of the interior defects we do have to talk about is that C-pillar. Quite common for those to start to peel, and it only gets worse when you put the windows down and drive the car and actually enjoy it. Fabric just comes off, so we'll replace that at some point. This one over here is actually okay. Sorry for the poor lighting though. Trunk is actually serving its purpose a little bit right now, moving some materials around, but if we open up the toolkit, I think we'll find that everything that came with it is here, including some extra license plate hardware that's not yet installed, but screwdriver, the wheel lineup tool, some pliers, the wrench, tow hook, both crescent wrenches, and I believe what is called the sunroof crank are all present. This car does have the 6-disc CD changer, and it works. There's the DSP amp. No PDC, maybe I can talk him into a future retrofit. So you guys can absolutely expect to see more of this car, both in update videos, project videos, DIYs, events, stuff like that. And it's really going to improve and look even better in the future. So thanks for watching. It's been Alex's 1999 540 Sport.
Fuckers fast.